Welcome to the CMO Spotlight. And today I have Bill Koleszar, who's the Chief Marketing Officer for the National Spine and Pain Center.
There are only two things you can control. It's your attitude and your productivity. And I don't mean to sound trite or hackneyed or repeat anything other guests say, but I've lived that. For a large part of my career, and I just think it can't be understated. I have an affinity for strategy. I've embraced data and analytics and MarTech. I think they're important to stay up on. The only thing I think I've really been successful at is identifying, developing, and retaining amazing talent. And a lot of it's predicated on understanding my own weaknesses as a leader and as a person and as a marketer. So, I surround myself with people, and I it's going to sound strange, but I love on them, right? Like I want to help people become their best selves, if you will, their best selves as marketers and people. I think there are a lot of lessons in history. I know I've mentioned once before Apollo 13. They had the cards stacked against them, and yet they found a way, right? And there are going to be times in your career where the cards are stacked against you, and you have to find a way. So that's inspiring. I find inspiring lessons from military history, from corporate history. So history and historical figures. I don't put anybody on a pedestal, but I'm a student of leadership. And I think I will be until the day I leave this world, because there's always something you can learn from others. There's something you can learn from everybody. And so that's where I get my inspiration from. Ordinary people do extraordinary things. Have a great attitude, work hard, think. Those are my expectations for sure. So my favorite quote is probably from Calvin Coolidge. It's on persistence. And so if you were to Google Calvin Coolidge and persistence, you'd find this really amazing quote about how it's not the smartest, it's not the richest, it's the person who persists. And I think that's true across all endeavors of life, right? In terms of teams and things like that, I love the story. I love almost any story related to an underdog. I actually, have a book in my head around how under-resourced organizations can defeat superior forces. And it's not a unique idea, but there are a lot of lessons to learn from underdogs that we can apply. Even if you're not an underdog, there are a lot of lessons. There's a really great article I recommend people read. It's called The Service Profit Chain. And it basically says what I said earlier. The model is, if you treat your employees well, they will treat your customers well. And what I didn't say later is, and then you will make a lot of money. So Chick-fil-A is so amazing in that regard. And the way they engineered their culture, now granted, they had I'll call it the luxury of having a CEO founder, single shareholder, right? Chick-fil-A is that brand. It's not just that they say my pleasure, right? It's so much more than that. It's an integrated system of everything they do. And interestingly, I was speaking with someone that happens to be a board member of Chick-fil-A, not the person from leadership development, but a board member. And he said, it's actually not the customer service piece that makes what they do so remarkable, but it's the operations piece. The brand is consistent with their operational capabilities, and it's just remarkable.